Today is Sunday, March 3rd, 2019, and this is Journal 7 of the spring 2019 of my junior semester. Um, so this journal is about some progress of my goals. Um, the prompt is to talk about one of my goals, but I think that in my case, I made two goals that could go together, but I made them separate just because they were really important to me. Um, so we'll just recap on those and then I'll discuss my progress. So the first one was I intend to improve my comfort level with creating and administrating a rehabilitation program. Um, and then the other goal that would I would think that would kind of go hand in hand with each other is I will improve my patient interactions this semester by completing patient contacts or discussing patient interactions with my preceptor. Um, so I think that these two could go hand in hand just because I want to improve my comfort level specifically with administrating a rehab program with a patient or with patients. Um, and I also think like that my comfort level always would come from improving my patient interaction skills. Because that's what we do all day. We interact with patients and athletes and different preceptors or different athletic training students. As far as my progress, I think that when I first met with my patient for our project this semester, that I was more standoffish as well as she was, because I think that we were both unsure of what this would turn into. And after seeing her a couple of times a week for the last 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, it's been about a month, that now we have good conversations going. We talk about her goals every time we meet, as well as talk about progress, talk about what she's overcome in that week or what she's overcome in this past month. And I also think that my patient related outcome scores kind of comes with goals and what she's accomplished and things like that. But I think that I've gotten a whole lot more comfortable with researching and looking at different protocols that compare to her but aren't exactly the same, and just kind of mixing best practice evidence and seeing where she's at with these exercises and then trying to advance her up to the point where she gets comfortable and she can overcome these exercises properly. My interactions with her have gotten a whole lot better just because I think that in the first week we were still kind of feeling each other out, trying to figure out, what type of well, I was figuring out what type of patient she would be, what type of athlete she is, how much she adheres to rehab. I was gathering information as well as she was probably gathering information about me, like I was going to be really hard on her, or like I am pretty easygoing when it comes to things like that. I want to be the person that is like really easy to talk to. So I like to introduce myself that way because that's how I am. I want not just her, but I want all of my athletes or all of my patient contacts to feel comfortable with coming up to me and having a conversation with me, not just about rehab, like even about important things. And I think that she has understood where I'm at with my personality and some of my antics and things that bother me. And I think that We just needed a little bit more time before our interactions got better. But not just, I've totally improved with her, and I see the most progress with her because we've started from scratch, like never knowing that each other existed until we met that first day. When I sat down with her and watched her and talked to her during her rehab one day, that was our first day meeting, and it was just awkward with anyone. It is, trust and stuff like that. I would say with other athletes and patients, I think that if I know where they're at in their rehab, that I'm pretty comfortable, like suggesting exercises or, taking a preceptor's rehab and administrating it for them because I feel like they're on track. I think that my comfort level with my project comes from not knowing if that's what she should be doing or being unsure if it's too early or things like that for certain exercises. So I think that that's where my comfort level with my own patient for rehab comes from. My initial patient interactions are good. They are, but I made it a goal this semester because I use a lot of the book terms or the medical terms when I explain things or when I refer to things, and I think that I need to get to the point where I can explain things on their level, not a medical level. That's why I made patient interaction a goal, because that's not going to come up just in, my rehab and why we're doing things and what's going on with the healing tissue right now and things like that. I need to be able to do it in any sense, really, any type of treatment or conversation. So I just feel like it's better for them to understand what is exactly going on in their own terms, or terms that they can understand, and not just my terms and what I understand. So that's why I made it a goal, because I knew that would be one of the obstacles that comes up in my rehab project specifically. But I think that I have seen some progress. I've definitely seen progress with my comfort level. I'm not as overwhelmed as I was with making rehabs or discussing weekly, what she should be doing, and, seeing the doc with her and seeing her progress. I don't think I'm as uncomfortable. I do think that when she gets to a point where where we're just fully working on strengthening, I worry about making sure we're doing enough, but not too much. And I also think that my comfort level with that also comes with how great I am at patient interactions. So I hope that everyone agrees that my interactions have gotten better. I've really been trying to explain things in not a medical way. But that's how I feel. I think that that's an important part of them understanding, not just, why are we doing this, and then giving them the medical explanation, and then they're either still confused or more confused than they already were. I just don't think it's helpful, and I also think it helps with the trust thing, that they feel like you know things. I mean, if you know it enough to explain it in terms that they understand, you know it by, not just medical terms, but other terms. So I've definitely seen some progress already this semester, and my preceptor has helped a lot with that, discussing things and talking about my project, and also talking about my rehab patient with the certified that, meets with her when I can't meet with her. We've had a lot of discussions about stuff like that. So I think that's really helped me progress. But yeah. So I've had a lot of progress already. So that's great. We love progress. But yeah, this is my 7th journal.